Hi there, this is the third episode in my tutorial series where I share my techniques on how I add randomness and glitch to my music. In this episode we're going to look at frequency splitting. So for an example, if you have a pre-recorded beat like this, and you want to add some effects, let's say to the sizzling hi-hats, but you don't want to add an effect to the low frequencies like the kick drum, for example, and you want to do something else with the mids, there's a quick way where you can actually do this. If you start off by taking an audio effect track, and did I add it to the right channel? Yes, I did. And then the quick and cheating way you can do this, if you go into your audio effects, you find the multiband compressor. Where do we have that? I am blind. There it is. What this effect is intended for is that you can add compression, but just to certain frequency ranges if you want to. So you can compress the highs or the mids or the lows. You can change where the cutoff points are for these, but we're not going to use this for compression at all. We put this in the effects rack. We're going to make 3 copies of it. So we're playing in parallel. The lowest one, we're going to solo on the bass frequencies. The mid ones, we are going to solo on the mid frequencies. And that one on the high frequencies. Ta-da! All of a sudden, we've split this into 3 separate channels dealing with the different frequency bands. Obviously, if you want to go in and do a bit more tweaking in detail, and what do I know, you can use an EQ for this, but this is just a quick way I often do it. So now, what we can do, for example, we can take the high frequencies. That should just play as normal now. On the high frequencies, we can take a delay. Where is the delay? There. Let's do my favorite thing of doing a bit of a carpless effect. We're also gonna unlink this just for a bit of fun, because traditionally you may want to keep your bass frequencies in the center of the mix, whereas the higher frequencies you can push them further out to the sides in the mix just to create a bit of dynamic. So I'm just gonna take an LFO. If you don't know what an LFO is, check out the first episode, which talks about how you automate your automation. Take the LFO. I'm gonna choose sample and hold wave. Let's crank that up a bit, and then we can have that animate the left channel. We have another one animating the right channel. So now we should get a bit of stereo at the top end. Let's see, we turn those down a bit so we get a bit of nice carplessing. Set that to jump. Let's see. Sounds like. So you can hear there, all of a sudden, the high frequencies are quite a lot more animated, and then we can add a different effect to the mids. I don't know what we should do. Maybe we can glitch it up quite a lot by taking a beat repeat, for example. I'm not going to go into any details what this effect does in this episode. That might happen in a later one, but it basically takes, in short, it takes a short snippet of what you're playing back. It takes it and it sort of stutters it, creates a bit of a stutter effect. Now we're going to have a bit of stutter on the mids. So you can hear all of a sudden this very static loop is all of a sudden doing lots of different things. This may be not the best sounding example. If you watch future episodes, I will go into a bit more detail on how to get the most out of your different effects. On I encourage you to try this method out, try with lots of different effects, and just go all in and animate your sound. Obviously, I'm using a pre-recorded loop there. It obviously lends itself to that, but you can, of course, if you have lots of channels that you're recording and you just want to group them and you can add this to it, just go for it. If you like this, hit subscribe and hit the bell and do all that sort of stuff. There's, I hope there will be a fair few episodes coming up. And if you enjoy this, thank you very much. Goodbye.